Excuse me, ma'am. Do you know the time?
I'm a sir.
Yeah, sure. That's pink, and that hair is definitely highlighted.
No, I'm a man.
Yeah, okay. So what do you think of my outfit?
This may be a bit of an overreaction, but it's true that external appearance means a lot in our Western society. We are a material culture. Just take a look at the sheer volume of clothing stores and commercials we see in a given day. Clothes, makeup, hairstyle, and demeanor can tell us a lot about a person, their status, wealth, individual tastes, and most importantly, their gender. While America is a progressive country, there are still definite cultural laws about what each gender can wear, act like, and even smell like. The thing is, we see these ads and understand that they are usually exaggerated versions of what we perceive as masculine and feminine behaviors. Yet, to what extent does outward appearance affect gender perception in this culture?
I'm a man. And I smell like a man. But sometimes I like to smell like a different smelling man. Point is, men need a variety of scents. So Old Spice makes a variety of scents. But I don't use them.
Because I'm a woman.
Just kidding. I'm not a woman. I use all of them. Because I'm a man.
Let's define our terms. What is gender?
Gender.
Gender.
Gender?
Gender.
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 Gender?
What is it?
Sorry, Molly. There is no simple answer. While it seems binary, either one or the other, male or female, there is yet to be a definitive way to test gender. That is because there's a lot more to gender than just what's in your pants. There are external and internal genitalia, hormones, chromosomes XX and XY, secondary sex characteristics such as breasts, facial hair, body hair, and the muscle-to-fat ratio, sexuality, and gender identity. And while we often assume that these traits will all follow the same gender pattern, this isn't necessarily true. In this presentation, we will explore the effect of external appearance on culture and sexuality and gender identity, with some forays into biological sex. Everyone is affected by gender and external appearance, but are often unaware of its effect on their daily lives. As a disclaimer, gender is a giant subject. We recognize that we cannot cover every single aspect of it in the time allowed to us today.
What is external appearance? External appearance is what you wear, how you act, your hair, your skin color, stature, how you appear, and the basis for assumptions and first impressions. People filter what they see through cultural cues that tell them what to think or expect about a person they see. One of the first things we notice about people is their gender.
Skirt? Check. Hips? Check. Heels? Check. Boobs? Yeah. Pretty hair? Check. Inviting smile? Check. Yeah, definitely a lady. What is culture? For the purpose of this presentation, we will be studying American popular culture, its media, stigmas, values, and traditions. Even this limitation puts many variables in our findings. However, we would find a very different and less accessible picture of gender if we were to examine queer culture, college culture, conservative culture, animal culture, or any international culture. We're working from the values that our culture shares, similar perceptions and opinions about beauty, sexuality, wealth, and to a lesser extent, religion. To sum up, culture is many things. It is how someone is raised, their environment, social systems, religions, modes of dress, stigmas, values, goals, the media, basically, the products of human work or thought, everything we create.
But is gender a product of humanity? Yes and no. All animals have gender: cats, insects, birds, rodents, even dinosaurs. In this respect, biological gender is not a product of human thought. Sexuality and gender identity, though, however, are heavily influenced by the stereotypes that are created and perpetuated through culture. And because of the magnitude to which biological gender contributes to the perception of gender identity and sexuality in our culture, it is impossible to separate these two spheres, biology and culture.
There have always been events to shape people's perception of gender. A recent case of this is the South African runner by the name of Caster Semenya. Not long after Usain Bolt's record-shattering victory in the 2008 Olympics, 18-year-old Semenya won gold in the women's 18-meter race in the 2009 Berlin World Championship competition. While Bolt was celebrated for his speed, Semenya was demanded to undergo gender testing because of her amazing ability and outward appearance. Even though Semenya was raised as a girl and competed as a girl, she was criticized because of her developed muscles, narrow frame, and deeper voice. So her gender identity was challenged. Even though a narrow, boyish frame is valued in running circles, such as Paula Radcliffe, Grete Waitz, Melissa White, and Zola Budd.
It has been linked that Semenya is likely intersex, possibly possessing undescended testes, which would give her an outward appearance of female genitalia, but larger amounts of testosterone than a normal female. However, Caster identifies as female despite the presence of male hormones. Before the gender test results were out, Caster participated in a makeover by South Africa's You magazine in order to prove herself more Western feminine and reveal the true girl that she identifies as. To the magazine, Semenya said, "I've never bought my own clothes. My mom buys them for me, but now that I know what I can look like, I'd like to dress like this more often." While the magazine, being fashion-oriented, is biased towards comments supporting their subject, it was also trying to show the public how feminine Caster is, which they proved by changing her external dress, pose, and facial expressions.
Hey, are you done? Come on out.
How do I look?
You look so strong and virile and tough. Are you ready?
Do I look alright?
Yeah, you look really sensitive and cute.
Thank you.
How much does a change of clothes affect one's perception of a person? It is said that clothes make the man, but how true is that for children?
Lise Elliott, author of Pink Brain, Blue Brain, came to the conclusion that while there are subtle differences between the genders at birth, they become emphasized and pinpointed by the parents, who encourage the behavior they expect based on the gender of their child.
Often, adults don't realize the extent to which gender affects how they view children, no matter how aware they are of stereotypes. In one study, cited in the book, children were dressed up contrary to their real gender. The result, the adults described the boys, actually girls, as angry or distressed more often than the adults who thought that they were observing girls. And they described the girls, actually boys, as happy and socially engaged more than adults who knew the babies were boys. It seems that these gender traits have nothing to do with the real gender of the children, but rather how culture dictates that boys and girls must act. Because of this, there has been a recent wave of alternative parenting aiming at raising more gender-neutral or gender aschematic children, in order to widen their offspring's horizons and not limit them to trucks or Barbies. Taking this parenting method to the extreme is a couple in Sweden, who gained media attention last year for refusing to disclose the gender of their child, whom the media has dubbed Pop. The couple is letting Pop choose from a range of boy and girl toys, and hairstyle and clothes vary daily. Pop has generated a lot of controversy, causing people to speculate if the child will grow up confused or if it is actually liberating. Is a change of clothes really all it takes to raise a gendered or gender-neutral child? Or
do physical and biological differences have an effect?
Males, because of the amounts of testosterone in their bodies, have more well-toned muscles than females, narrower hips, squarish faces, lots of body hair, and an overall bigger and taller body size. Females, on the other hand, due to estrogen, have breasts and wide hips, both of which are coincidentally great for childbirth, and they are often smaller in size on average.